And the companies that manufacture these are ramping up the manufacture of them, and they've all said they are hiring people so that they can ramp up.
But here's the hiring process in a nutshell, Dr. Lopkin. Unfortunately, I believe the economy, and you were right, the economy was much stronger than we thought. Okay, with that I thought. I think hiring was still the only reason. Well, hiring was amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. There was no end in sight, okay? No end, right? I think Trump was a shoe. I mean, just unless something crazy happened. I'll give him at that time 75. How does that sound? I don't see any way, especially Biden, having a chance of beating him. I think now if you were going to hire 10 people, Dr. Lopkin, you're going to put that on hold right now. You just are.
You'll probably put things on hold, but that, again, that's a temporary hold. One of the important things economically to remember is that economists are talking about this is going to take about 750 basis points out of the economy. If we had a weaker economy, that would have been devastating. But as it is, with the economy where it is now and where it has been, taking all of that out of the economy still leaves us over 1% growth, which keeps us out of a recession. Now, all of this, especially since a lot of the purchases will be deferred, I honestly think the economy is not going to be Trump's Achilles heel in all of this. I think the economy is still going to be in good shape. I think what should cause Trump to worry, and I don't think it is that he has shown a complete lack of leadership during this, and that is something that people will attack him on, and that actually, I think, is going to be more devastating to his reelection chances than the economy.
Actually, another great point by the doctor himself, and that is an absolute good point. He has bungled, not with the delivery, not with the logistics, but he's actually exasperated the problem because no one believes anything he says. He's been a clown show. I'm sorry. He's just been a clown show about this. He has not been serious. He shows a total lack of caring, and it's not good.
No, it certainly isn't. And again, we've been saying for the last 2 years that we thought the only person that could beat Trump would be Trump. And yes, right now he is showing that he is defeating himself.
Agreed. Now, just flipping back for 1 second more, great analysis, Dr. Lopkin. Great podcast. With the Biden thing, getting back to him, this is a little scary because I believe he is not totally mentally competent at this point. I mean, he picked a fight with a steel worker. He doesn't know what day it is. And
you're not the only person who has said this. I have spoken to people at the Florida Democratic State Committee, and they honestly believe that he is suffering from dementia.
Oh, he has dementia. Even when he was in that confrontation with the steel worker or whatever it was, they had someone pushing him like, okay, let's move on or whatever, some woman, and he goes, shush, shush, which if it was someone else, that's a little sexist, by the way, but we won't go into that. Yet he has handlers. Even the DNC had the next debate, and they're actually looking at not having the debate. Having him, everyone sit down. He is not mentally capable for the presidency. They know it. It's a sad demonstration, but they had no one else except Bernie, and that was a disaster. Am I not right about that?
Well, I think the problem was the DNC did not get their act together fast enough. There are people, I've said for weeks, Amy Klobuchar was a viable candidate.
But what happened to her? Because I agree with you 150%. She would have given Trump a real run for the only thing that Biden, if everything was good and there was no coronavirus, he's finished. He's in a debate, their jaws would be dropping.
Yeah, she didn't have the name recognition, so the DNC did not mobilize their forces behind
Bad
her.
mistake.
And it was a huge mistake. And worse, they let the wacko left part of the party basically control the election process
Too late.
up until, I would say, 2 months ago. So
Agreed. They let it go on too much
they let it
longer.
go on too long. So they had a viable candidate who could actually beat Trump, who would actually have been good for the country, but they just let it go and they blew it. Which, let's face it, both parties are very good at shooting themselves in the foot.
Dr. Lopkin, in closing, you nailed it. She would have been, especially with this coronavirus and Trump's reaction to it, or lack of reaction, or lack of a stable reaction to it. She could have given Trump a run for the money. It would have been a 50-50 shot. I don't think Biden,
absolutely,
even with Trump's antics during this corona, unprofessionalism, unpresidentialism, I still think Biden head to head, when he's just not capable. And I'm not being a partisan. He's just not capable.
I don't think Biden can do a good. Well, I don't think he can really beat Trump unless the Democrats severely mobilize and actually bring the entire party together behind him. I don't know that a lot of the ones on the left, certainly not the Bernie bros, and I know a lot of younger voters have stayed home this primary season. They haven't even bothered to vote. So
it's true. He does not have the support he once did. Good point.
Unless they can mobilize all of those people, I don't think he's going to beat Trump. However, I do think at this point, even with the mobilization they've done so far, they've gotten closer than at any point in the last 4 years.
Agree. Well, that concludes this edition of Carnivore Bites. We'll do it again next week. And we have a special announcement, Dr. Lopkin, don't we?
Right. Starting Friday, we will be going live. So you can call, if you want to be part of the conversation, you can call us at 563-999-3693. We will be on the air Friday at 4. You can find us at blogtalkradio.com/Carnivore Radio.
Great. Thank you, Dr. Lopkin. Looking forward to Friday. Take care.
See you then.
You've been listening to Carnivore Bites, part of the Exvadio Podcast Network. You can catch us every week on carnivoreradio.com, exvadio.com/podcasts, the Apple Podcast Store, Google Play, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and wherever you find podcasts.